Hi, this is Paul Wolf from howtoplaybass.com. This is the first of a new series of video lessons I'm doing where we're going to take songs that are suitable for beginners to play, people who've been playing for a few months, so they can get some tunes under their belt. Sometimes we're going to simplify them slightly, and I'm going to show you how to play through these tunes. At some stage there will be PDFs available, but you'll have to subscribe to my e-zine to get those. If you check my website, again, it's howtoplaybass.com. Don't forget all the hyphens. You'll find some info on that. So there will be a PDF that goes with this at some stage. But if you have a good look through this lesson, it should give you a good idea of how to play through the first tune, which today is going to be I Can't Stand Losing You by The Police. And I'm going to use, partly because of YouTube are now doing a lot of audio content matching, so if you play along to originals, they're not letting you post them. So I've got a MIDI file which I've cut up into various pieces to give us a bit of musical accompaniment, so I can play the sections and you can relate that back to the originals. When you've learnt the bits and pieces that I'm going to teach you, the verses, the pre-chorus, etc., etc., put it all together, play along with the Police's version, try out some variations on your own as well. Don't just play the bits and pieces that I teach. There is more to the song than just playing it straight. You can try throwing in a bit of rhythm variety in certain sections. Anyway, let's get on with the lesson. We're going to start with the intro. Okay, the first pattern we're going to look at in this song is the intro, which is a 5-note pattern with a couple of sort of variations. This pattern also crops up at the end of the choruses as well, so you'll need to put it in there too. Okay, the basic pattern goes like this. And those notes are D, which is the 5th fret of the A string, F, which is the 8th fret of the A string, A, which is the 7th fret of the D string, G, the 5th fret of the G string, sorry, the D string, G, 5th fret of the D string, and back to A at the 7th fret of the D string, and the rhythm is. Now, the next bar is very similar, but the last two notes, instead of going up to the A and playing those twice, the last two notes are E at the 7th fret of the A string and back to D, the starting note, the 5th fret of the A string. So I'll play the first two bars. Okay, the next two bars are the same, except in the 4th bar, the G at the 5th fret of the D string is played twice rather than just once. So it sounds like this, the next two bars. So you heard that extra G in. Also, you'll note when you get to the choruses and you have a listen, have a look at what I do, both the full speed one and the slowed down one, that there's some slight variations there in the choruses. But that'd be something for you to work on your own. Have a listen to what Sting plays and work out some variations for yourself. Okay, the verse and the pre-chorus are pretty simple. There's not much notes involved, there's not much rhythm involved. The thing that you've got to really watch and to nail is Sting's use of sort of the reggae kind of rhythm in the verse. Now, the verse is mainly is made up of a 2-bar pattern which is played 4 times. There's only 2 notes involved, which is D, which is the 5th fret of the A string, and G, which is the 3rd fret of the E string. But here's the rhythm, so I'm going to count it, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now, if you have a good listen to the original, or the slowed down version or the speeded up version of the verse and the pre-chorus that I've done, you should be able to get that rhythm. But when you're first starting out doing those kind of drop rhythms, they can be quite hard to nail. So you just think when you count, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 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 2, 3, 4, and it repeats that again to make up the verse pattern. Now the pre-chorus is the bit under the lyric of, I guess you'd call it cowardice or suicide, whichever pre-chorus you're in. Again, this is pretty straightforward. Haven't got many notes to look at. It starts in B flat, first fret of the A string, and then it goes down to F, and then up to C, which is the third fret of the A string, to G, which is the third fret of the E string, back to C, and then to A. Now, I'll play the pattern through, and then I'll just quickly talk about the rhythm. Okay, so you can hear that kind of rhythm that's being played. Again, it mirrors the kind of the guitar chords that are going on, and if you have a listen to the original, you'll pick that rhythm up. As with all the parts in this lesson, I've done a full speed version with some MIDI for accompaniment, and also a slowed down version, so you should get that. The chorus is fairly straightforward. It's made up of two distinct sections. The first section is played with an eighth note kind of rocky rhythm. It starts off on B flat, which I'm playing at the 6th fret of the E string. Plays that for 2 bars. Then it goes down to G, 3rd fret of the E string, to A. All of these are for 2 bars. A was played at the 5th fret of the E string, by the way. And then after that, it goes into the riff that you should know from the intro. And plays that riff twice before you then go back to the verse. Now in the second chorus, it plays the 8th note section twice through before you get into that section. But if you have a good listen to the original, you'll work out that particular variation.